You know, it's kind of funny. Back in the day, we used to argue about which was the better console, who had the better games, and there was this strange tribal loyalty to these video game companies. And in 2025, look at us now. They've all come together just to screw us over. You know, everybody, me included, likes to say gaming is dying or gaming is dead, but it truly feels that we are on the verge of death of console gaming, if it hasn't already died, and we're just living in like some console gaming afterlife. I mean, have you looked at the PS storefront recently? Like, it's so over. That being said, I've talked my mess about Nintendo a couple times. I've talked about PlayStation, but I haven't talked about Xbox yet. Look, sorry to the like 10 Xbox fans that are still out there, but I'm about to go in. Xbox is the worst console, and it's not even close, which is a hard feat given the current climate in console gaming, but still I'd say they're the worst company. Also, jokes aside, if you're an Xbox fan, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I just want to know if you guys are still out there. There's no like hate or dissing or anything. Like, for real though, does anybody still play up on Xbox? Like, damn. I think I haven't made a video about Xbox because I almost just forgot about them. It wasn't until, you know, Xbox raised their prices that they got on my radar. I mean, Nintendo and PlayStation raised their prices unreasonably, but at least they have stuff to offer. I know it's kind of debatable with PlayStation right now, but Xbox has nothing to offer. So it just feels like a slap in the face for them to raise their prices. And at this point, they were lucky because PlayStation was acting greedy, Nintendo was acting greedy, and nobody wanted to say it, but we were looking over at the Xbox like, well, at least this thing is affordable. Like, that could have been an easy dub, like a strategical marketing point for Xbox. Like, hey, we're Xbox. We ain't got nothing going on, but at least we're cheap. And then they up and raise their prices for literally no reason. Like, I'm sorry, but is this company retarded? Like, for absolutely no reason, raise your prices and then sold Gears and Halo. I can't make this up. Absolutely brainless. What reason is there to really own an Xbox at this point? I mean, Game Pass, you can get that on PC. Exclusives? What exclusives? I mean, Microsoft has pretty much made their own console obsolete with Game Pass when I think about it in regards to PC. It's like they don't even know what they're doing. But instead of me going into like a rant, let's just go over exactly why Xbox is the worst gaming console. I mean, I already roasted them a bit about this, but do I really got to talk about the sad state of Xbox exclusives? I mean, what do they got? Like Redfall? I mean, I heard Indiana Jones game was okay, but do I look like I like Indiana Jones?
We're just having some fun.
Fun? Do I look like Charlie Brown?
No.
Do I look like Charlie Brown?
I'm just kidding, but shout out to Indiana Jones if that's a good game. I've heard good things, but I'm just not interested in that. So I could sit there and go on about how they have no exclusives. We all know this. It's like, okay, Xbox can't make games by themselves, but that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that everything they touch seems to turn to complete ass. Since the beginning of time, Xbox seems to have this weird trajectory of acquiring studios just to set them on fire and send them off to Valhalla. Take, for instance, Rare. Rare used to be one of my favorite gaming studios as a kid before I even know it. They made some of the craziest platformers. Like, they're the makers of Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day. Great family-friendly game, by the way. You should play it with your whole family. It's very wholesome. But the moment they got acquired by Microsoft, it's like they just completely went to poop. But at least they're still here. That's one of the better scenarios when it comes to Xbox, because a lot of companies they acquire just don't make it in the long term and end up shutting down. It's just Xbox seems to think the solution to every problem is to just throw giant buckets of money at everything, but they don't seem to have the main ingredient, which is passion, a desire to actually make what you're making for the sake of it, not just for money. Something we all should learn from in this AI generated reality we're living in, but that's not beside the point. It's a strategy that I'm seeing PlayStation slowly adopt, and it's making me sad because clearly money is not the solution. You guys have to have some sort of vision. But what do I know? I'm just the YouTube guy. A side note, it also makes me cringe when people prop up Bethesda like they were going to save Xbox when they were on a downward trajectory before Xbox even bought them. I'm sorry, but shadow dropping Bethesda remasters will only take this company so far, and it saddens me that ex-Bethesda fans are now eating out of Todd Howard's hand, saying stuff like, oh, Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna be good. Like, guys, they flipped the remaster. It's not that hard to do. I'm not saying the remaster is bad or anything. Shout out to the remaster. I'm just saying it's the best that they can do. It's not a good look. Okay, moving on. My second point is Game Pass. While it does have its strengths, in reality, it's not that great if you really break it down. People are gonna think I'm crazy. Game Pass? What? Game Pass is amazing. People just prop up Game Pass so much. But if you think about it, aside from paying the fee to play it for a month when a new video game you want to play comes out, there's not much use to it. I mean, it has diminishing returns. This is supposed to be the Netflix of video games, but the thing is, there's lots of shovelware on here, and the fact of the matter is, once you play a couple games that you actually wanted to play, it's not like you're going to be sifting through all of this mediocrity. So aside from basically using it to rent the newest game that comes out, I don't see that this has that much value in the long term. And that's just on the customer side. From the developer side, I'm not even sure how worth it is for Xbox to just be paying all these developers to put their games on their storefront, because it's like, I'm not exactly sure where the money comes from. Do they get paid from the subscriptions, a percentage, or like is Xbox paying them a bag just to put their game on there? Like, how is this profitable? Again, I'm just a YouTuber. I'm just questioning things. I'm not sure, but this doesn't seem like the greatest business strategy in hindsight. Great for the customer that just pays for a month and cancels their subscription after playing the latest game though, I'll say that. I think the biggest and major problem with Xbox though is that it just feels like they completely lack an identity at this point. I have no idea what the company represents, and it shows. Like, Nintendo was known for its affordable price, but it's still well known for its lovable mascots and family-friendly environment. PlayStation was known for its single-player exclusive and the mature experiences. I don't really know what direction they're going in right now. Xbox, I just feel like they're completely lost. And you know what? I blame this guy. Let me ask you a question. Does anybody trust this guy? Does anybody still trust Phil Spencer? The guy just admitted that they have no business in the console wars. The guy's always admitted that the Xbox is and always will be in third place. Honestly, if Xbox's downfall has anybody to blame, I think it's this guy. Phil Spencer kind of reminds me of Todd Howard, actually. He's good at manipulating public appearances, but terrible at his job. Remind me why people call this guy Uncle Phil. There is no relation, and he's not your friend. People like to act like this guy is down to earth, more than your average corporate CEO, and I admit he does come off that way, but realistically, he's just as slimy as any money-driven CEO. And I don't know how he gets away with it. Let's be real. I mean, let's just look at how much he screwed up under the Xbox umbrella, shall we? Poor marketing of the next generation of Xbox. Remember when the Xbox was first released and nobody knew what the hell to call it? Game Pass struggles. I've got a bunch of customers that have no reason to continuously subscribe, and you have a bunch of developers that you have to consistently pay to keep this thing going. It's a great concept, but I don't know if this is going to ever be profitable for Xbox in the long term. But that might be a moot point because I don't have any actual data to back that up, so who really knows what's going on with Game Pass? So fine, fuck it, I'll give Spencer that one. But studio acquisitions. I already pointed out how much Microsoft is basically a graveyard of acquired studios, selling all their exclusives to multi-platforms. At this point, there's literally no point to own an Xbox. Hindsight's 2020, but this guy had no idea what he was doing. One point I forgot to mention, definitely saved the best for last. There's a culture war in video games. Listen, I was joking. I don't like talking about this. If I see the word woke on one more thumbnail, my eyes are going to explode. But as much as I hate politics on both sides, it is undeniable that there has been an issue in making good games in the West, specifically in the North Americas. It's undeniable that politics have affected Western gaming in a negative way, and it just seems like any 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 would-be game is cursed to become a 6 or a 7 due to forced politics. And once again, I'm not leaning on either side, but it's an undeniable fact. And I feel like if you don't notice it, you're just putting your head in the sand at this point. And yeah, a lot of foreign games, specifically Eastern games, don't have this problem. And one thing about Xbox is they don't have much foreign games on there. So they're already fighting an uphill battle when it comes to making good games if all they really have to work with is Western talent, which is affected by all this political nonsense. I'm just saying. Again, to the Xbox fans, sorry I had to go so hard on your favorite console, but I got no problem with Xbox fans. I don't think you're wrong for liking Xbox. I just think Xbox sucks. And if it makes you feel any better, I think all console gaming has gone to complete crap at this point. But that's all it is. It is what it is. Hopefully I can have more positive video topics in the future. A lot of my videos have been pretty negative lately. I noticed that. And I want to make more positive stuff.